Our tale begins on an ordinary day in London when I, John Watson MD, walked into the practice of my dear friend Sherlock Holmes.
Ah, Watson, how are you? I'm going to make an offhanded remark about something going on in your personal life that it doesn't seem like I should know about.
Why, that's exactly right. But how on earth would you know about that?
Well, Watson, I'm going to give a paragraph-long explanation of all the little details I noticed that add up to that thing in your personal life. This serves to demonstrate my talent for deduction, for which I am famous. But it's a good thing you arrived when you did, Watson, because I've just received a note from a client who seems to have a most baffling case. In fact, here he is at the door right now.
Hello, I'm here now. I'm in quite a predicament, and I was told you were the man to go to. But this is a private matter. Who the hell is this other guy?
Ah, don't worry, that's Watson. He helps me with things, and you can trust him to keep a secret. Now, please, tell me about your case.
Well, here's an initial little backstory that helps set the scene for the case.
Well, yes, but I hardly see how this is remarkable.
Ah, but here are several more paragraphs that talk about the case itself.
Now, that is fascinating. But elaborate on that one seemingly insignificant detail you offhandedly mentioned.
I hardly see how that's relevant to the case.
Just tell me, I have a method.
Well, I don't know. Are you going to help me or not?
Watson, do you have anything going on this afternoon?
Well, no, I don't think I...
Good, because we're going to the distant location where the case takes place.
Well, Watson, what do you make of this case?
Well, here's my conclusion, which is perfectly reasonable given what we've learned so far.
Ah, Watson, you funny little man. That's quite a good explanation, but I'm going to condescendingly tell you why you're wrong without going into my own theory.
Ah, we've arrived.
Time to interrogate witnesses and look for clues. What's this? A seemingly insignificant detail. What is that? Precisely the question I have myself. Now look, Watson, here's a woman who is somehow related to the case. What a beautiful woman! So beautiful that I'm going to write an incredibly sexist paragraph about how becoming of her sex she is. Here's my testimony of what happened, which reveals that despite my soft and weak exterior, I have a passionate fire in my breasts. Well, Watson, that's as far as our investigation is going to get. But something still doesn't quite make sense. None of this makes sense! Wait a minute. Of course! How could I have been so foolish? Watson, have your revolver ready, because it's time for a last-minute action scene that happens just before we catch the culprit.
You've got me!
And we might not have, if it weren't for all the seemingly insignificant details that add up to a coherent explanation that I'm going to detail now. And now that I've done that, what do you have to say for yourself?
Before you write me off as a criminal, consider the circumstances that led to my committing the crime. Here are multiple paragraphs about my backstory, detailing why I committed the crime and then how I actually did it. Now, if you were in my shoes, wouldn't you have done the same?
Of course not. You're a criminal and I'm a cocaine addict who's obsessed with the law.
Well, Holmes, you've done it again. But I'm a bit miffed that you've interfered in another police case, and as such, we won't get any of the credit.
Officer, I desire no credit. I do this because I love it. Now, Watson, I have tickets to tonight's opera. Let's get going.
Some time later, we learned the fates of the people involved in the case, which I shall condense into one last paragraph before the story is over. Most of them are needlessly sad and cruel. The end.
God, I wish I was writing something else. Wait a minute. Of course! How could I have been so foolish? Watson, have your revolver ready because it's time to... fuck. It's not time to fuck. That's only in fanfiction, Watson. Anyway. I've never had sex in my life.
What kind of video are you making?
No, I'm just...